All right, family. It's day 5. Day 5 of the 90 days challenge. 99 problems, but this ain't one. All right, now look, today we're going to talk a little bit about, not a little bit, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it, and you're going to listen to it and take from what you will. So, today's topic, we're going to talk about affirmations. Now, similar to a good friend of mine, or soon to be, I hope you're listening, good friend of mine, Tony Robbins, he speaks about how affirmations are not necessarily something he believes that big in, the power, or the positive thinking, so to speak. But yet he still understands the words, the power of words. I mean, dealing with neuro-linguistic program, which is using the way our thought patterns work to use them for us, for the things we want to get and to eliminate the things we don't want in our life. We'll talk more about NLP at some other later points, or some of the points that I understand about NLP later. But what we're going to talk about today again is about affirmations and the power of the words that we're coming through our mouth and kind of using in our heads. But more specifically, as Napoleon Hill will call it, it is auto-suggestion, the power of auto-suggestion. It's a big word, but it's basically saying that you ever notice it sometimes where you may have heard something some days ago, but it's just been sticking in the back of your mind. You may not have noticed it was stuck in the back of your mind until a friend of yours, or a TV commercial, or a movie, or something comes up, or a book you may have been looking at. Something happens and it just brings up that thought, and it's like, oh, that's what that means. That's kind of like auto-suggestion. What we're going to be doing is implanting some seed into our brain, some thought in our brain about what we want to have happen and what to see in our life. Specifically in this point, to see the different, we want to see the differences that we want to have in our mindset, some differences in our personality, or our character we want to have change through these affirmations, or these auto-suggestions, if you will. Interesting enough, there was a time when I was not as confident as I am right now. I think I'm confident. I'm pretty confident. But I've been an athlete through high school, through college. I've been in leadership positions for a long time. But there was a time when I lost a lot of confidence in myself, and it came about because of a breakup with a woman, and I just used it as a way for me to just go way down the wrong path of doing some things, some drugs and drinking that I didn't need to be doing. And when I started trying to bring myself out of this stupor, if you will, found out that I had lost a lot of confidence in myself. I had done some things in my life that were not moving me forward. Now, don't get me wrong, I was still productive in society. I was still going to job. I still had a pretty good job. I had a nice car. I was living. But I felt like I could be doing more. And something that I found out was the power of using affirmations. Now, I'm going to go talk to you about the progress of affirmations as I learned different pieces of using affirmations in my life. Now, in the beginning, we talked about affirmations. What I was doing was, when I was taking my lunch breaks, what I would do is there's some qualities that I wanted to have in my life. And so as I was walking around, I'm looking up into the clouds and trying to just put a big smile on my face. That's one thing. You may not think of suggestions of smiling as being a suggestion, but that is part of your suggestion. You must be in a good state. So that's part one of doing a good affirmation, is putting yourself in the proper state. So sometimes people something happens bad, they're like, and something they do not want to make that happen. They get yelled at by somebody, or the boss tells them to do something and they don't want to do it, or whatever happens is they're tired of being put in that situation, and they immediately start saying something to the effect of, maybe, I'm in total control of myself, I'm in total control, or whatever it may be. But the problem with that is, when you're saying those words associated with that state that you're in, and this is where I learned from Tony Robbins, is very true. Being in that state that you're in, you're associating control with being in that state. And that may be a little bit difficult to understand there, but understand this. say there's certain words, there's certain, you want to call it a trigger word, if you will. I had a very good friend that there's certain words you can say to him that may be offensive to one person and they're not offensive to the next person. And what has basically happened is people associate certain words with certain feelings. So I hope you get that understanding right there. So when that happens because of repeated action, repeated action, repeated action. So if I'm continually getting upset or something that's upsetting me and I'm continuing to associate I'm in got total power, I'm in total control, then in those situations, then I'm making those associations closer and stronger and stronger and stronger. That's how your brain works. Those associations by association by association by association by association. And what we're trying to do is to move ourselves forward, to progress in our learning in our life and towards our success. We want to do positive affirmations that are associated with a positive state. So again, you're smiling, you're putting yourself into a good state, such as if you want to be in a powerful state, first, when something happens that you've done that they may have been something powerful for you or you felt powerful, that's when you immediately turn around and go into your affirmation, start repeating. While you're in that state, while you're feeling powerful, you start telling yourself, I'm powerful, I'm powerful, I'm so powerful, God made me powerful, I'm powerful beyond measure. You start saying it while you're in that powerful state. So there you go. Step number 2, we're going to have to associate with words when doing affirmations. You put yourself in a state and you're going to use words that are conducive to where you want to be. And what do I mean by conducive? Conducive meaning that are going to push you forward. That's congruent, something that's actually goes similar or runs along the same lines of where you're trying to go. That's what I mean by conducive. So here's an explanation. I was talking to another friend the other day. He's trying to get through a rough stage in his life. And what he was saying to himself is like, well, I'm going to start. We talked about some things he wanted to do in his life. And what he said after that was, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I got to make sure I not do this and then that other. And I was like, you're going along the right lines, but hear me out. Let me have you do this. And I want you to do this with me. Okay, for everybody who's listening to this, I want you to don't picture a pink elephant. Okay, now I don't want you to feel the floor under your feet. I don't want you to feel the clothing that's on your back. Have you noticed what happened every time I said that? You immediately start picturing that pink elephant. You start feeling the floor up under your feet. You start feeling the clothing on your body. Because even though I said don't do it, in order for you not to do it, you have to first do it. So by telling ourselves not to do something, we cannot, in essence, tell ourselves not to do something because we're initially going to start thinking about that. Again, that changes our state, as we said in the beginning. So we're in a positive state. We don't tell ourselves, you're feeling powerful. You don't tell yourself, I don't want ever to feel weak again. No. Because you're associating weak. You get what I'm saying? Understand what I'm my point here? You're getting weak with your powerful state. You're saying, I want to feel powerful. I am powerful. You're going to say those words that go along with it. You're not using that negative. You're taking a negative out of there and putting it in the positive. Here's another thing. The next step, after you got your state, you got the positive words is moving forward towards where you want to go to. What you want to do is do it on a consistent basis. You want to do it often. You want to do it every day. You want to do it in any opportunity that happens. Because the more times you go through this whole routine with yourself, the more times you put yourself into these positions, these positive positions, into these powerful states, into the successful states, and you're associating your affirmations with them. Anytime you look in the mirror and you're feeling good that day, and you look in the mirror and say, man, I am beautiful. Man. I'm like my man Bob Proctor says. He says, I love myself so much I gotta kiss myself. Man, that works. I'm telling you. Get some love for yourself. Man, this feels so good right now. Feels so good. I just doing that right there because I've done it so many times where I've looked in the mirror and said, and just kissed myself. I just went into a little state right there. I felt so real powerful just doing that. You want to keep repeating it. So you're going to first you put yourself in a power state. Make sure you're using powerful words, positive words, and you're going to do it consistently. Those are the 3 things. Now, For some of you, then there may be a little something different. Here's something I heard. I picked up from a lady I was watching on YouTube. I cannot think of her name right now, but she's talking about not self-sabotaging. I was trying to think about how she worded this whole situation, but she had a client she was working with that they were talking about positive affirmations, and she wanted to make it personal. So here's something. I love music. My parents, I grew up around music all the time. I'm an artistic person. I like writing poetry. You've probably seen some of my poetry on this on my page here on YouTube. But here is one thing that I had done. It makes me feel like that's a little different. And I've turned some of my positive affirmations into a little bit of a song, some little lyrics. So, if you will, just I'm not the rapper, none of that stuff. I do spoken poetry, but I got a little rhythm to this. So, here's one. I'm gonna give you two of them, and I like them. All right, so these are little tips. If you want to do something a little different, you can do these. If you like a little music and want a little more artistic, do something like this. Okay. So the people I'm looking for are looking for me. And the things I'm looking for are coming to me. I choose cash in my pocket, choose at least a few G's, choose cash flowing to my accounts on a daily. See, there's the positive affirmation. So anytime I got some money, or I got some cash in my pocket, there comes that song. Giving that grace. Giving my grace, my thank you for everything, my gratitude. Here's another song for you I really like. This goes on my mama. It says, God is blessing me, my mama is too. I choose the same for her and the other, hallelujah. Praising my own time, God, I choose to learn my lessons. I choose to plan and act first, allowing His blessings. Yes, sir. All right, that's it for today, day 5. And let me let you know one time, my name is D. Orlando Fortune. Trying to tell you to keep it as simple as A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and do, re, mi. Mouth. Because confidence is all you really need to live your life in style. So just do what you gotta do.